I think a big thing is, just it's repetition in practice. It's gaining confidence. Free throw shooting is like that. If you get off to a great start, they all seem to go in. If you miss a few early, it seems to have a little bit of a domino effect to it. But those two guys are the two that are getting there for us the most right now, and thankfully they're knocking them down, and hopefully that continues throughout the season. I finished up with the Missouri game. I kind of started with the more recent stuff and went backwards and just watched the Missouri game this morning, and they played great that one and had K-State down 10 in the second half. So it's a team, they play extremely hard. They'll mix up their defenses. Kareem's doing an excellent job with that group. And they're going to come in and if they're knocking out shots, that's a team that you got to play well. We have to get off to a good start, and that's important. Obviously any game. We didn't do that last week against Lamar. Let them hang around. You can't do that. You just hopefully jump on them early and keep your foot in the gas. It's such a different team. Last year you had Dustin at the 3 spot, and Melvin and George were locked up with the bigger guys. George's numbers are much better, obviously, than they were a year ago. Dustin's are down. Bryce has picking up some of the slack and has been able to go in there freely, kind of the role that Dustin had last year on the glass. Daniel's, I think, doing a really good job, especially in the offensive glass. It's a matter of time before he's too good, at locating the ball and just being an instinctive rebounder. But right now, I'll tell you what, when you go back and watch the film, Dustin is one of the guys that is consistently blocking out, and he gets locked up with a big guy and a lot of times ends up out of bounds with them in a wrestling match, and then somebody else comes in and gets the rebound. So, you can't look too deep into Dustin's numbers, but when he gets back to playing more 3, which will happen when Jamil gets eligible, hopefully we'll have a chance to be a very good rebounding team. I think the biggest thing with Bryce is just his overall game. You hear so many things about players, and I've heard a lot of things about guys that have come in here in the past, and they're come in here, they have a fresh start. With Bryce, it's his passing, it's his decision making. It's obviously his rebounding. All of his numbers are ahead of where they've been from where he previously played, and that's what you look for. You look for growth in the overall game, and Bryce has done that. I thought he played Qualls very well defensively, and before that, I really thought he guarded in Georgia State, where he had a couple great blocks. His closeout speed on R.J. Hunter was excellent. So he just continued to grow, continued to play through mistakes, play through frustrating times. But he's certainly grown in that area since he's been here, and hopefully we'll continue on that path. I thought last week was his best week of practice. He again, it's a kid that hasn't played in a long time. I think he saw some of those cobwebs with Corey, with Will, with those guys that hadn't played. I think Royce was the one that came out in a 28 in his first game after not playing for a year. But those other guys, they all have their struggles early on in the process, and that's going to happen. Now it's about keeping your spirits up and staying in your routine and trying to get that back. And that's what Abdul's been doing. He came in on our day off and got a ton of shots up on the shooting gun, and that's what he's going to continue to do, and he'll get more comfortable. And those minutes will start to increase. Well, we bounced back with 2 very good practices after the Arkansas game. We had to take yesterday off just with the NCAA rules. You have to have 1 day off a week. Hopefully we'll bounce back with a good, sharp, short practice today and have some energy going into that game tomorrow. It's a unique week with 3 games in a very short amount of time. Not only Iowa Friday, but then you play Southern at an afternoon game basically on Sunday. So we've got 3 games. We got to be focused on all of them. But I like our guys' mentality right now. It's a group that bounced back from a tough week last week. Had a tough start against Lamar, but once we got that confidence back in that second half, that definitely carried over to the Arkansas game, and hopefully we'll continue to do so.